Hello and welcome to the Sharp Psych. Today, we will cover some of the behaviors you should never tolerate. As humans, we all want to feel safe, respected, and valued. We all have an innate desire for healthy relationships and positive interactions with others. However, there are some behaviors that can jeopardize our well-being and endanger our safety. These behaviors can be difficult to recognize and navigate, especially when they come from someone we care about or trust. In this video, we'll look at some common behaviors that you should never tolerate, as well as practical tips for recognizing and responding to them. By taking the first step toward treatment, you can begin to feel better and regain control of your life. Remember that you are not alone and that there is hope for recovery. Before we get into the discussion, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so that you get notified of any new videos. Also, check out the links in the descriptions for my best recommendations. Now, let's get into it. The first behavior you should never tolerate from anyone is physical abuse. This is the most obvious sign of unacceptable behavior. Physical abuse is perhaps the most visible manifestation of unacceptable behavior. It includes any intentional use of force that causes harm or injury to another person. This can include hitting, pushing, slapping, kicking, or any other form of physical harm. This can occur in any relationship, including intimate relationships, parent-child relationships, and workplace settings. Physical abuse can have serious physical and emotional consequences. In addition to physical injuries, it can cause feelings of fear, anxiety, and shame. Victims may also suffer long-term consequences, such as post-traumatic stress disorder. It's critical to recognize the signs of physical abuse and take action to protect yourself or others from harm. Some signs of physical abuse may include unexplained bruises or injuries, visible signs of physical harm, such as broken bones or cuts, a history of similar injuries, an abusive partner who is controlling, jealous, or possessive, a partner who threatens violence or uses violence to solve problems. If you or someone you know is being physically abused, you should seek help right away. This can include contacting the police, seeking medical attention, or speaking with a trusted friend or counselor. No one deserves to be physically abused, and there is no excuse for such behavior. The second abuse you should never tolerate from anyone is verbal abuse, the power of words. While physical abuse is often the most visible from an unacceptable behavior, verbal abuse can be just as damaging. Verbal abuse is the use of words to hurt, control, or manipulate another person. This includes yelling, name-calling, put-downs, and any other form of hurtful or demeaning language. The consequences of verbal abuse can be severe, both mentally and emotionally. It can result in the feelings of shame, low self-esteem, or even depression. In some cases, it can result in physical harm, especially if it escalates to physical abuse. It's critical to recognize the signs of verbal abuse and take action to protect yourself or others from harm. Some signs of verbal abuse may include constant criticism or belittling, name-calling or insults, threats and intimidation, yelling or screaming, and refusing to communicate or to stonewall. It's critical to seek help if you or someone you know is being verbally abused. This can include talking to a trusted friend or counselor, setting boundaries with the abuser, or seeking professional help. No one deserves to be verbally abused, and it's critical to take action to protect yourself or others. The third unacceptable behavior is emotional manipulation, the art of control. Emotional manipulation is a type of unacceptable behavior that is frequently difficult to detect. It includes using subtle or overt tactics to control or manipulate another person's feelings or behavior. This can include guilt tripping, gaslighting, or any other tactic designed to manipulate or control your feelings or behavior. The consequences of emotional manipulation can be severe, including feelings of confusion, doubt, or low self-esteem. It can also lead to a loss of autonomy and a sense of being controlled or trapped in a relationship or situation. It's critical to recognize the signs of emotional manipulation and take action to protect yourself or others from harm. Some signs of emotional manipulation may include constantly feeling like you're walking on eggshells around the other person, feeling like you can never do anything right, having your feelings dismissed or minimized, feeling guilty or responsible for another person's feelings or behavior, feeling confused or doubting your own perceptions of reality. If you or someone you know is being emotionally manipulated, it is critical that you seek help. Setting boundaries with the manipulator, seeking counseling, or even ending the relationship if it is unsafe or unhealthy are all options. The next behavior that should never be tolerated is when people disrespect boundaries. The importance of setting limits. Boundary respect is an essential component of healthy relationships. Boundaries are the limits we set to protect ourselves and our well-being, both physically and emotionally. When someone violates our boundaries, we may feel violated, angry, or resentful. Boundaries can be violated in a variety of ways, including ignoring your requests, violating your physical or emotional limits, or crossing clearly defined lines. It is critical to recognize the signs of boundary violation and take action to protect yourself or others from harm. Some signs of boundary disrespect may include feeling like your requests are being ignored or dismissed, feeling like your physical or emotional space is being invaded, feeling like your privacy is being violated, feeling being pressured to do something you are not comfortable with. It's critical to take action if you or someone you know is experiencing boundary violations. Setting clear boundaries by communicating to others and seeking support from friends and professionals are all examples of this. The next behavior that no one should tolerate is discrimination and prejudice, recognizing and responding to bias. Discrimination and prejudice are biased behaviors that can have serious consequences for individuals and the society as a whole. They entail treating someone unfairly or differently because of their race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or any other personal characteristic. Discrimination and prejudice can manifest themselves in a variety of ways, including exclusion, harassment, and even violence. It's critical to recognize signs of discrimination and prejudice and to take appropriate action to protect yourself or others from harm. Some signs of discrimination and prejudice may include being excluded or treated unfairly based on your personal characteristics, being subjected to slurs or derogatory language, being targeted for harassment or violence based on your personal characteristics, feeling unsafe or uncomfortable in certain environments or situations. It's critical to act if you or a loved one is the victim of prejudice or discrimination. This could entail informing the appropriate authorities about the behavior, asking friends or professionals for support, or even filing a lawsuit if necessary. Before we discuss the last behavior that should never be tolerated, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our videos. And check the links in the descriptions for my best recommendations. The last behavior that you should never tolerate is substance abuse, recognizing and responding to addiction. Substance abuse and addiction are behaviors that can have serious consequences for both individuals and society as a whole. They involve using drugs or alcohol in a way that jeopardizes your safety, well-being, or relationships. Substance abuse and addiction can take many forms, including alcoholism, drug addiction, and even prescription drug abuse. It is critical to recognize the signs of substance abuse and addiction and take action to protect yourself or others from harm. Some signs of substance abuse and addiction may include a pattern of drinking or drug use that interferes with daily life, an inability to stop drinking or using drugs even when it's causing problems, a pattern of risky behavior or poor decision-making, neglecting responsibilities or relationships due to substance abuse. It's important to get help if you or someone you know is abusing drugs or is addicted to them. This might entail visiting a doctor, joining a support group, or getting medical attention. To sum up, there are certain behaviors that you should never tolerate in your life or in the relationship that you have. These behaviors can be harmful to you and to others, and they can manifest themselves in a variety of ways, including, but not limited to, emotional manipulation, disrespect for boundaries, discrimination and prejudice, substance abuse and addiction, and so on. It's essential to be able to recognize the signs of these behaviors and to take action in order to safeguard oneself or others from potential harm. Setting boundaries, seeking support from friends or professionals, or even ending a relationship and reporting the behavior to the appropriate authorities are all examples of actions that fall under this category. Although it may be challenging to confront these behaviors, it's essential to keep in mind that you have the right to be treated with respect and dignity at all times. This right should be honored. You can help create a world in which these behaviors are not tolerated and everyone is treated with fairness and kindness. Always keep in mind that you do not stand alone. Resources and support systems are available to help you get through this difficult time if you or someone you know is exhibiting any of the behaviors listed here. Feel free to reach out to people and ask for assistance. We all have the potential to make the world a better and safer place by working together. We hope this video has provided you with valuable information to better understand what are the behaviors you should never tolerate. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.